When I moved into my neighborhood, I knew there was an HOA. I figured it would just handle the basics, trash pickup, lawn maintenance, and maybe community events. What I didn't expect was that the HOA president, Karen, treated the place like her personal kingdom. At first, my dues were manageable, $150 a month. Not cheap, but fine. Then one day, I received a notice that my dues were going up by 500%. Suddenly, I was expected to pay $900 every month, just to live in my own house. I thought it was a typo. Nope. At the next HOA meeting, Karen smugly explained it was necessary for community improvements. What improvements? A luxury fountain at the entrance and a personal security detail for her house. Yes, she wanted me and my neighbors to bankroll her little empire. Naturally, I refused, and that's when the threats started. Karen sent me violation letters daily. My grass was too long. My truck was commercial-looking. My mailbox wasn't regulation height. Each fine stacked on top of the inflated dues. What Karen didn't realize was that I wasn't just another resident. By sheer irony, I happened to be the regional operations manager for the electric utility company, the same company that supplied power to the HOA's entire grid. So, while she thought she had me cornered, she had no idea the cards I was holding. I started by double-checking everything. My property wasn't under HOA deed restrictions beyond basic appearance, and I had no legal obligation to pay the outrageous dues hike. My lawyer confirmed it. Then I looked at the HOA's utility contract. Guess what? It was in my name. Years ago, before the HOA was formed, the developer had signed an easement agreement with the power company, with me listed as the managing overseer of the community's transformer hub. Karen never bothered to update it. That meant I had authority to revoke service. When Karen slapped me with a $5,000 non-compliance fee, I decided I was done playing nice. I filed the paperwork and shut off the HOA's master transformer. Within minutes, the whole neighborhood went dark. Streetlights, air conditioning, Wi-Fi routers, all dead. The panic was immediate. Neighbors poured out of their houses. Karen ran outside screaming at the sky, yelling that terrorists must have hacked the grid. But when she stormed to my driveway demanding answers, I just sipped my coffee on the porch and said, maybe if I wasn't paying $900 a month, the lights would still be on. The best part? The outage exposed just how mismanaged the HOA really was. They couldn't even get their backup generators running because Karen had pocketed the maintenance funds. Families started openly shouting at her in the street. Within 2 days, I restored power, but only after the HOA board held an emergency vote. The dues hike? Reversed. The bogus fines? Wiped clean. And Karen? She was forced to step down after a dozen neighbors threatened to sue her personally for misappropriation of funds. The cherry on top? Once Karen resigned, we discovered she had been siphoning HOA money into her personal account. She wasn't just greedy. She was committing embezzlement. She was indicted not long after, and last I heard, she's still dealing with fraud charges. Now the neighborhood runs smoother than ever. Dues are back to normal, real improvements are being made, and the best part is, every time I flip a switch in my house, I get a little reminder that I hold the HOA's fate in my hands. Karen thought she could bankrupt me with a pen stroke. Instead, she learned that crossing the guy who literally controls the power supply was the dumbest move she could make.